to Houthi media outlets.
The strike occurred in the western Sada province, a region frequently targeted in recent operations.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced a unilateral 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine, set to begin on May 8th. This temporary halt in hostilities is timed to coincide with Russia's World War II Victory Day celebrations. President Trump hinted at the possibility of a new income tax cut aimed at lessening the financial impact of his administration's tariffs.
The president suggested the relief would primarily target individuals and families earning less than $200,000 per year. This proposal comes as polls indicate increasing public concern.
Former Memphis police officers involved in the death of Tyre Nichols are facing a second federal trial.
The first trial concluded earlier this year without the jury reaching unanimous verdicts on the civil rights charges against them.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
They want him dead.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
What's going on in the month
Damn, it's hot and hot.
Yeah, well, hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Steven's gonna make you laugh today. He came with his boxing gloves. He's ready to fight. He got a neck thing. Whoa. Now that will make CT want to kick my ass. It's like, stop this. Wow. Good morning, folks. It is Tuesday. Terrific Tuesday. I don't know. I just needed something with a T. That was look at me. Terrific is the first T word that comes to mind. Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. Listen, tomorrow is the anniversary. I can't believe I'm saying this. The 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. And I remember it like it was 50 days ago, 50 minutes ago, 50 seconds ago, 50 microseconds ago. I can't go any further than that. It just seems like, and now 50 years. This is weird. Now, to somebody like Steven, who, by the way, hates our guest today, he's gonna want him dead. He's gonna threaten his life. Like a Vietnam, like the Viet Cong. Steven can't even relate to 50 years. He doesn't even know what 50 years means. I bet you Dan West does. He knows 50 years. So I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I'm even talking. My lips are moving and air is coming out. I figure it should say something. Anyway, we have a show for you today that includes comedy. Of course, GD will call it angry comedy. It's angry. And which I'm kind of angry. My delivery is kind of angry too, isn't it? It's a little angry. And then we have Doug Lawrence, the Mountie, the county Mountie, not county Mountie, the country Mountie, or maybe it'd be the 51st state Mountie, who's not a Mountie anymore. He's an author of a book about grief. And listen, we'll talk to him about it when he gets here, but There's no one size fits all with grief. Everybody's got these books about how you're supposed to grieve. I don't know. I don't follow instructions. Wait, I'm going. I need to grieve. Hold on. First, take your dick. No, that's the wrong instruction book. Anyway, there's no instruction, but we'll talk to him about it. We'll get his. Obviously, he's been through some pain, like Steven when he lays on his belly. But you know, you don't have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. I don't have all the answers. I got all the questions. I think, mark my words, because this would probably be the only time you ever hear me say this. I think today's going to be a good day. And I don't mean on this show. It's never a good day on this show, is it? Talking about in the world. In the world, today, I have a feeling something good is going to happen. Maybe it's just the gas. Maybe I got gas. I don't know. Anyway, we'll get on with the show. We'll hopefully it'll be good for ratings if we get Steven not liking the guest enough to get angry at him and just call him names and stuff. I called somebody a name this morning. I didn't call him really. I called him a fucking liar. Here's the thing, not the deal. I'm not putting a nickel in that fucking cup. This guy, Chris Berube, who was now blocked by me. A couple of days ago, he posted, the NYPD has put out a report that Donald Trump is 5'10" and 287 pounds. Now, obviously, I don't like Trump, and everybody knows I don't like Trump. And obviously, he's not 6'3", 225 pounds. I posted a picture of myself the other day, or saw one in my memories, when I was 6 foot and 254 pounds and was in really good shape. But Trump is not 6'3" and 224 pounds. But he's not 5'10" and 287 either. I've stood next to or close enough to the man to know he's at least my height, which I'm 6 foot. I think he's a little taller than me. And so if you're going to lie, that makes you no better than him. You're going to lie just to say, oh, the NYPD did not release any fucking statement saying he's 5'10" and 287 pounds. I Googled it. It's very easy to know the NYPD denies releasing any such document. And I brought that up to Chris Berube. Now, then, once you bring it up, the facts, because on his page it says, we talk about facts, we back it up with evidence, blah, blah, blah. And so you do that. He doesn't even bother to look to see that he's wrong. He's just going to be stubborn and go down the path. No, everybody who says anything different is a liar. I know I was right. Well, the NYPD, who you claim said, they say no. Evidence. Where's your evidence that the NYPD told you he was 5'10"? He's not 5'10" and 287 pounds. That would look like, I don't even have an obese reference. Listen, I hate having to fucking defend Donald Trump in any way, and this sounds like a defense of him. I'm not. He's a fat bastard. But he's not 5'10" and 287 pounds. That would look like, I don't know, Fatty Arbuckle. He's obese. He's old. He's listen. There are people who are saying he was fucking praying when he was fucking snoring in the church. We have two extremes. People just want to fucking lie to the and I'm sick of it. I gotta calm down. I told you it was gonna be a good day. Something good just happened. I think I just passed. Oh no, I'm still alive. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. So I'm calling him name. I call him a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. You know better than Trump. Well, look at me. Call him somebody no better than Trump. That's the worst you can call somebody, isn't it? Anyway, I think I should do a curiosity box live read instead of play one of these dopey commercials. But I'm not. Tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. I'll have one ready for tomorrow, and maybe Carell will have my commercial ready for tomorrow, and I'll play that. But in the meantime, I don't know. Choose one: Daily High Club or Mind Bloom. Daily High Mind, Daily Mind Bloom. Daily Club Mind to smoke pot. That's what I'm going to do.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, And with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
No. Good morning, folks. In the room with me right now are Steven, the hater, the mean, I wish him dead sort of, he never got me on stage. Steven, the sitcom without a last name. And
Steven the sitcom.
Steven the sitcom without a last name. And George David Mendelsohn, George David Mendelsohn.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you applying for that? Are you applying to fill that PayPal opening? Do you need help with your references? Come to MindDogTV.com/merch to order your references from us. For $19.95, we will get you whatever references you need, and we'll say whatever you want us to say that'll help you get that job as Pope. MindDogTV.com, the place to go for your credible references. PayPal references. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Mind Dog TV. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
I didn't know the Pope had a hole in him. What do you mean, the Pope opening? He had an opening in him. Is that what he died from? Some kind of opening?
Well, no. He died from was it pneumonia? I think it was pneumonia. I forgot.
I think. Well,
no. He had a stroke. He died from a stroke, but he had he suffered a stroke.
Lucky bastard.
Which I think was Vance induced. I think they call it advanced stroke.
Yeah. Good morning, Deborah, with the longest comment ever on this program.
Jesus fuck.
I know.
Yeah, not only that,
would you like me to read it?
No, don't read it. It still has 3 dots at the end of it. I don't think it's finished. Let it finish.
I was gonna try to give it a nice warm reading.
I tried to read it many times, and you can't unless she finishes. Not finish.
But I think she misconstrued what I was saying about something good. I had when I said things
comments really big.
Something good was going to happen today.
Now, I did something that I know you don't approve of, Matt. I researched something, and actually all I did was I looked up Donald Trump's mugshots, because when you do the mugshots, he has to stand against the little line markers. Right. And so far, both of them say he's 6'3".
6'3".
Now, he's 6'3".
Well, there's a big difference between 5. Listen,
I'm just saying.
Obviously, he's
still fat. He's not in shape. He's fat. And even if he was wearing lifts, because I don't know if they make you stand barefoot when you do a mugshot. I don't have a mugshot.
Neither do I.
And I'm black.
I know he's not 5'10". I know that.
Right.
I mean, 5'10" is small. I'm sorry, Steve.
Right. 5'10" is like an inch taller than me. And 2 inch. Actually, I've shrunk. I've got a lot. I've had age shrinkage, not general shrinkage. No. It's the weight of the world is just pushing me down.
Yeah, no, I'm shrinking too. I'm probably not 6 foot anymore. I haven't checked in a while. I could be like 4'3", but
no, I can't stand. So I tell everybody I'm 6 foot.
You're still taller than I. That's right. Matter of fact, Steven, you can say any height you want because you're in a wheelchair. Nobody's going to stand you up to check. See, I'm 7'12".
The guy has this header on his profile page that says that we are better than them. We fact check. We back our stuff up with evidence. And then when you ask him to back stuff up with evidence, that the NYPD released this report saying he was 5'10", it's easy to check that. Just go to the NYPD and just search in there, or just Google, did they ever release a report? It comes back, no, they never released his height and weight. That's not something they would ever do.
Yeah, so I think a good preliminary search for most things is Snopes. I think it's Snopes, Snopes.
Yeah.
Because they fact check. Yeah.
Here's the thing with that. Everybody who disagrees with whatever you come up with from there, they're biased. They're biased.
No, I'm just saying it's a good start. It's just a good start because usually they'll list their references. I think I don't use it because
you just know everything.
No, I don't know everything. I just assume why go to them to check their references when I can just start off with references. Cut out the middleman.
Cut out the middleman. That's what it's all about. Cutting out the middleman, killing the middleman, like Steven's going to do to our first guest. Can't wait for this. This might be good for ratings if we get Steven to actually get mean and angry. And
I don't think Steven's going to get mad and angry. I think he's going to just say, "Hey, remember me? What's his name? Dan? Remember me, Dan West? No, fuck you then." I think that. I don't think.
It's weird that that's one of the ways the scenario's played out in my head. Was like, oh, you don't remember me? Well, fuck you anyway. Back to you, Matt. Like,
and then you can say, "You don't remember me? Today. Well, I wish I could forget you because you're not that funny." No.
Oh.
Hey, we're not on.
You don't remember me? I don't remember you. You're a comedian.
Today. I'm on the wrong Twitter. I wanted to be on Steven's Twitter today. I'll get you tomorrow. Remind me to do it tomorrow.
And Steven, he said, "You don't remember me? I don't remember you being funny." See?
Well, funny is subjective.
I mean, if I had to be super honest about the show that night, it wasn't great.
You don't have to be super honest. You could be just honest.
I just don't like to lie. So
well, he's not here. He's not showing. So maybe he saw you were on here and got scared. I don't want to get beat. Let's say I don't want to get beat up by a girl, and I don't want to get beat up by a guy in a wheelchair.
I don't think he's scared. He's ex-military, right? He was a Marine, wasn't he?
Look, while I can handle my own in hand to hand,
we've seen
this is a big dude.
Handle your own, but we're talking about fighting now, not beating off.
That's what I'm saying. He's a big dude. He would beat my ass into the ground probably. But.
Yeah, but big doesn't mean big. Just means large. You know, it doesn't.
Why
mean
did I say Mike Schiavola? Do you have any idea why I said so with Mike Schiavola? Do you have any idea why I said that?
Because he's also a big guy.
Well, he is a big guy. He's a big guy. I don't think he's much of a fighter. I don't know, but I know a neighbor of his was arrested for voter fraud for voting for Trump twice.
Well, he didn't mean to vote twice. He was actually holding that other vote for a friend, and he set it down, and it got counted. That's what.
No, he voted early, and then he went to vote at the polls, and they said, "Wait a minute, you voted already." We caught me because in Lindenhurst, people give it up right away. He could just say, "I don't know what you're talking about." But he didn't. He said, "Yes, I robbed a flower shop." And I'm going to jail. So, but I just think it's just typical of every time they find voter fraud, it's somebody wearing a red hat. And it obviously is not widespread global voter fraud. It's just one dude in Lindenhurst with a red hat. So, but I think that would be funny. Don't you think? That's fun. Yeah, if I delivered it with a little less anger, maybe. You think? Maybe. My delivery is a little too angry. Oh, speaking of delivery, I think I have my chickens here.
Deliverer.
Huh?
Your chicken's here? Huh?
No, I don't have any chicken here. I'm just thinking what delivers: Chinese food, pizza, and chicken. Those are the only things that deliver. Oh, not anymore.
In your neighborhood, really? That's it?
I guess not. You could get anything right now since the
pandemic. DoorDash will order almost anything for you.
Yeah, I forget about that because I don't use those things. I've never used any of that crap. Just bring me something because you know why? Because my legs work and I can go get it.
Well, you know why I can get? Because my car works. and I feel comfortable driving anywhere to get food, not just within the neighborhood.
Don't worry, John.
Wait, I want to.
Famous old Flappy Tits is here.
I wanted to read a statement from one of our distinguished gentlemen.
Callers.
Commenters.
Oh,
commenters. Yeah, a caller, but a caller who's not calling. He's writing. I said, speaking of hats. Where's your super cool hat with the Seamus O'Floppy tits, you poser? You poser. I have a same hat, except it's not. It doesn't cause an egg-shaped fucking dome in the middle of it. It's just.
That's just because I have a big head.
A big fucking watermelon-sized head. Ooh,
yeah, man.
That in GD went. Wait, whoa.
That's why GD likes me so much.
I know. So your friend got scared and ran away. He chickened out. So Robin chickened out. He ran away. Chickened out.
Yeah, well,
because I see that's fuck him.
What?
Like, here's the thing, I don't necessarily know the guy to be like a terribly bad dude, but I mean, don't get me wrong.
He's a good dude. What does it say about it?
It says
right in the bio, he's a good dude. Right there, it says. It starts.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know him personally. I know what I've seen on the social media. I've seen the shit that he's been involved with at times, and then my personal experience with him. I'm not a fan, and I was going to tell him that to his face. So I'm kind of upset he didn't come. But whatever.
Well, he likes long walks on the beach.
Yeah, well, I don't fucking like walking at all, so I don't give a fuck what he likes.
And kittens and whiskey, yeah.
Well,
actually, he likes drunk kittens. He likes getting kittens drunk on whiskey.
I was just trying to rub it into Steven when he heard the long walks. I know it makes him jealous because he would go for a short walk off a long pier. No, a long pier, a long walk. Never mind.
I want to go for a long walk on a short pier.
Now, is your wheelchair beach accessible? I mean, does it get in the sand or do you have like
not on my beach? Not on my beach. It's 500 feet straight down.
Nope. Nope. The wheelchair in particular doesn't go in the sand at all. It fucking sucks. They do make wheelchairs for that.
Well, that's all I was asking because I've seen people on the beach with wheelchairs. They were stuck, but I've seen them.
Well, there's a lot of beaches now. A lot of beaches now have they have like a concrete walkway for wheelchairs that actually go out into the water. So if you want to kill yourself in a wheelchair and you want to use the beach, you still can without assistance. But it is a thing. But that's why I'm trying to get back on the correct. The beach is more fun without the chair.
He wants to say to you,
now I don't see. He doesn't say that I'm his favorite black guy. He just says I want to say hi to my favorite.
Oh yeah, it could be somebody. Just
it could be anybody. It could be Ron.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that guy?
You don't want to. Kumbaya Zen, who is, I want to show the world about me. It's all about me. Make it about me. I got Kumbaya. Get the fuck out of here, Kumbaya.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know that was. I didn't know what that was. I
didn't know either. I just saw the live stream of consciousness. I don't know what the fuck that is. I mean, I know what that means, but not here.
It's a podcast that is about Kumbaya.
Okay. Okay.
Wow, I just saw the viewer count drop. I think I just actually saw them leave.
Yeah. That's fine. So anyway, it doesn't look like Dan's going to show up. So now what do we do? Didn't we do this yesterday? No. It's like every day with these no shows.
Was it a comedian yesterday also?
It was a comedian yesterday too, wasn't it? Because the musician showed up.
But that guy. Listen, I don't know what his excuse was, but he's in Poland. He just assumed.
Right, that comedian. And then the other comedian, the guy with the glasses like this.
That was the Arbogast guy. That was Thursday or Friday. He just forgot. And listen, I forget what he said. Things came up. He was overworked. Whatever. It was a rock in my shoe. The sun was in my eyes. I ran out of gas. Whatever.
I'm not.
A phone
I'm
call,
not buying
an
time
email.
zones.
I'm sorry. Things happen. You know.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not buying time zones from anybody anymore either, because it dawned on me yesterday afternoon. Carl, no matter what country he's in, can figure out when we're live. There's no excuse for anyone else.
Who?
But okay, just to take the other side. Not that there's another side. But Carl could be a time zone savant, where all he does is study time zones.
Is there somebody named Carl?
Carl Mann.
Carl Mann. Rings a bell, but
yes. Did either of you, and I mean Stephen or Matt, have either of you watched Brett Goldstein's comedy special?
No.
Do you know who Brett Goldstein is?
Yes.
He's the tall, angry guy on Ted Lasso.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, then I know who he is.
The tall, angry soccer player. Mm-hmm. Yes. I watched his. Well, actually, I watched his comedy special twice. I watched it once by myself and once with my wife.
Fun of Steven the whole time. Lots of material there. But I think that's what we've been doing the last 2 years, isn't it? Like,
I've only been here for a year, though. I've only been here for a year.
Yeah, but we started making fun of you before you got here.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan West was on the show, and he first said, "You can't make fun of this guy." He said, "I'm gonna fuck this guy up. I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna drive this chick to a show, and then I tell him he can get stage time, and then put tables in the way and just fucking laugh."
I remember he said
laugh.
His plan was
he was going to try to get you on the show, but then not move the table so that you couldn't get on the show.
Yeah, fucking asshole.
But you fooled him. You moved your own tables. So I watched the Brett Goldstein comedy special twice. Once with my wife, once by myself. I liked it.
Nice.
I watched it because
wait. You got to do a Ron critique of it.
I don't know how to do a Ron critique of it.
Yes, you do.
No, because I don't know
bad. It's not bad.
Oh, see, I forgot what he says because once Ron left, I forgot his Ronisms.
I think it's not bad. It had its moments. It was okay.
Not that bad is actually not that bad, which is because even when it's not bad, it's not that bad is a different thing. It's a whole level.
Well, I think it was pretty good. I mean, and now I think
Ron. Take that.
But my bar, when I started watching, because I watched him on Ted Lasso, and I could tell he was funny as a person.
Now, does Ted Lasso actually have a lasso? I don't know anything about lasso. Does he have a lasso?
Well, he does have a lasso, but he doesn't use it on the show. It's like his superpower. He only uses it when he has to.
Steven's drinking invisible drink.
Yes.
But it comes out yellow for some reason. It still comes out yellow.
But it smells the same when it comes out. It's really weird.
Wow.
So we have a downed pine tree in our backyard. It's a 65-foot pine tree that the wind blew over, and I've been cutting it up over the past few days. And I came in from cutting yesterday, and my wife goes, "You smell good," because that's pine. That's just pine. I've been
pine saw, baby.
Yeah, I've been cutting up pine all afternoon.
Why is there not video of you cutting up this tree with a chainsaw?
Yeah. We need a video of your wife saying Irish. Never mind. Never mind. I was just gonna say they should make a soap named after you, but I'm not gonna go where. Anyway, we have no show today.
What would have been called, Matt? What would they have called that soap?
I would probably call it Steven Shut the Fuck Up Soap. So I think something good's going to happen. I'm going to keep saying that until the news breaks, and then there'll be breaking news. What do you think?
That's usually what happens when news breaks is it becomes breaking news.
I think it's broken news, but that's beside.
Well, once it breaks, it's broken.
Well, all right. Fuck you. So if I made a prediction like that and it didn't come true, then I'm a dope, right?
Yeah.
Well, mistaken. You had bad information to base your prediction on.
Yeah, it could be that.
I'm just I don't know, pulling shit out of the air. I'm not saying I have any evidence that things are going to be good today. I just think something good is going to happen somewhere.
Based on what?
Not that far from Steven.
My wife and I are going to a trivia night tomorrow night. Some people.
Yeah, that's way far from me. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. What city is that? There's a city near you? Baltimore?
Well, no, I think it's in Westminster. It is in Westminster. It's at a place called the Maryland Mallet, I think.
Mallet?
M-A-L-L-E-T, Maryland Mallet. I think they're known for like seafood. That's what
it sounds like. I don't know. It's like a grunge rock band, like a Marilyn Manson. Maryland Mallet.
No, it's the Maryland Mallet. MD, like MD Mallet. Maryland.
Oh, MD
Maryland. Okay,
Maryland.
Maryland Mallet. Yeah.
Is that like Weed World?
Yeah. Weed World.
And what it is there's some friends that are actually friends of Carol's, but they've been to like 6 or 7 of my comedy shows.
I think it's friends of Bill. It's not friends of Carol. I never heard friends of Carol. You know what?
Well,
you know what I'm talking
about. They keep to themselves.
Friends of Bill. You know that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
friends of
Bill. They're going out for a trivia night, and they invited myself and Carol to be there for the trivia night.
To sing alcoholic carols. We wish you a merry drunken.
What?
I don't know. I should go back to sleep, shouldn't I? I didn't get enough sleep. Well, I was hoping there'd be a guest here and some ratings because of the anger that for the guests. Apparently, maybe I should check with you guys before I say yes to these people from now on. But
don't check with me because I don't know who they are. I don't know to say yes or no. I don't research them until.
Oh, I wouldn't have necessarily have even said no. I was really looking forward to talking to them.
I would definitely not say no because I remember when Artie Lang exposed himself.
Oh yeah, I remember when Artie Lang.
He exposed himself on the air. And when I say exposed himself, I don't mean he took his dick out. He revealed through circumstance that he was back on the heroin. And then they took a break, and then Artie was crying in the back because he didn't want people knowing what a piece of shit he was and fell backslid into the heroin. And then the guys were like, they wanted the camera off him because it was an embarrassing moment. And Howard said to them, if that ever happens to me, you keep that fucking close up right here as I'm fucking crying. That's good for you. You don't ever back off from something that's going to bring us ratings. And that would have brought us ratings. You fucking don't pull the camera off him when he's having a breakdown, an emotional breakdown. Go right in and fucking deal with it. And so that's what my thought was with this, what's his name? Dan West?
Dan West. Yep.
That if just fucking highlight it, give Steven the matches and some fucking lighter fluid. Tell Dan that Steven hates his guts and wants him dead.
Dude, it caused a fight with my ex-wife and everything, dude, just to help him out. Fucking asshole.
Wow, see this? No wonder he's not here though.
Hey, he's probably making it up to your wife, right? Your ex-wife right now. He's probably
you know what? Great, because you know what? They're both good at making promises they can't keep. So.
Don't be saying stuff bad about your ex-wife especially in public. Come on, there are children involved.
I have not legitimately said anything negative about her. I'm not going to start now. You just said
she makes promises she can't keep.
I was just making a.
All right. Don't joke about
that. It almost sounds like an oral sex thing. Like she can't keep it down when she promises.
Yeah,
dude, I was married. You know, oral never happened. That's just a married thing in general.
Wow,
really? I don't think so.
I'm not.
I think you're married to the wrong person.
I was. You're right.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
Yeah, no, because
oral sex does not disappear just because you get married.
GD blows his husband, I should say, all the time.
Oh my god!
Yeah, all the time.
Well,
is that why you keep the long hair for handlebars?
It's for guidance. It's for guidance control.
There it is. Yeah. That's why I assume most Harley riders are secretly gay because they're like brother.
Yeah.
Now, Dan West is missing all his fun. Look at all his fun he's missing out on.
Yeah. He was probably, discriminating against handicapped people somewhere.
All right. Anyway, well, we have no show here today. I promise you a show every day. I promise you a show, and every day you get this. I wouldn't blame it if you all just fucking showed up at my door with pitchforks, torches, and maybe a shotgun or something, and just took me out. Just take me out.
No, it's too far a drive for me to. If I drove that far, I'm not even going to bring torches. I just want to eat something.
It's 12 hours and 45 minutes from here to Governor's. I got to add another 2-3 hours to get to your house.
Not 2 or 3 hours. 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah. So that's
maybe if there was like.
But are you north? Are you further? Are you north of Governor's or south of Governor's?
I am northeast of Governor's, very far east and north, but yeah, both. I mean,
okay, so you would, that would be a further drive.
Based on the stupid, shitty fucking traffic in your state, probably 3 hours, not 2 hours.
Hey.
Depends on the time of day.
Yeah.
With my luck, I'd hit right in the middle of the day like I did last time.
Right in the middle of the day is not bad. Like at 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, you probably make it in an hour from Governor. Seriously, I think my GPS would say an hour and 5 minutes at the right time of the day. But if it's at the wrong time of the day, it could take you.
I hit just outside of New York City at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and it just everybody hit the road at one time. It was nuts. I didn't like it.
Maybe I should go busking today.
Busking.
What's the weather like? Does anybody know what the weather here is?
I know it's chilly out here where I am in Maryland.
It's 72 degrees here right now.
You motherfucking punk.
I think it was like 60. It's like I said, I have difficulty with this time of year when it comes to being inside the house because at nighttime we should turn the heat on, and my wife, but when she goes to bed, it's still warm out, so she wants the air conditioning on. And when I go to bed, which is later, I should be the one to remember to turn the air conditioning off and turn the heat on because it's going to get cold at night, and we'll wake up to a 66-degree house.
Yeah,
or 67
degrees. 59 degrees here. My wife is like the only one who knows how to. We got one of these, I don't know, CIA top secret thermostats that you have to go to Harvard and MIT to figure out how to operate. So my wife is the only one who knows how to do it, and she keeps it like at 3 degrees.
It fell over.
That happens when you get old.
Yeah, I don't. Because I'm not in a chair. I'm on a drum stool.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to replace the padding at the top. It's just worn out.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I smoke weed.
Okay.
What?
Now, anybody out there listening, if you have just the drum thing, you want to send it to me? Go ahead. Because
what did you do? Eat the fucking.
Stop chewing on your stool, dude.
You get hungry? What happened? You took a bite out of the top?
No, it had a small rip, and instead of fixing it, I said, "Oh, what's the worst that can happen?"
Picked at it. You picked at it, didn't you? You picked at it.
So
where was I? Oh yeah, I smoke weed. I'm having a confessional here. So my little hash pipe that I was smoking, and I found out that if you use a little hash pipe, it's much more economical because you could take like 2 or 3 hits and then you're good. And then it's a small little, I don't have it here, but then it got clogged up. Here it is, tiny little hash pipe. Look at that small little ball, and that was enough. But now it's clogged up, and I can't find the fucking tools or anything to clear and take it apart and clean it.
Send it to me. I can send it to me. I can take care of it. I got all kinds of tools. I have hammers. Right, I have saws. I have a chainsaw that can.
You know what? That's not working. I'll try this glass pipe. Now this glass pipe is fine, except it's got a little carburetor right here, and every time I use the lighter, I burn my fucking finger. And then here's a weird thing about it: if you use
how about not holding it? How about not holding it there with your finger so you don't burn it?
You have to, because there's a carburetor there. If you do it, it doesn't work. You got to hold up the carburetor and then do this as you're taking a hit. Little carburetor thing.
Yeah.
Damn. So the design is bad.
You should get an automatic. You have a manual. You got a manual pipe. You should get an automatic.
Emmanuel left. He got deported. So, but the thing is now, if you use a lighter, the fucking pipe gets fucking burning hot. Like it does. It's not conducive. It holds the heat, and then and then that was good for the sound man, right?
I bet.
Dead.
Is the producer dead now?
Yeah.
Head exploded. Great.
Yeah. Now
I can't use this either. So I resorted back to the old-fashioned rolling a doobie of white weed, and as I did that, I realized I was now going.
You weren't licking hard enough, and it wasn't.
I was now Elon Musk on my way to Mars. By the way, you know the first person who's going to step on Mars is a young girl. I think she's only like, she's a teenager now, but she's signed up for the Mars program. She's supposed to be the first person to ever step on Mars.
I'm waiting for them to look for a disabled person that they can send to see what the effects of space would be like on.
So we're sending you to the bottom of the ocean to see what the Marianas Trench
No, I want to go to Mars. I'm tired of this rock.
So,
I have no intention of going to Mars. But
I was
I'm
in
sorry.
the middle of an important point I was trying to make, and you guys just interrupt me. Like I would never fucking interrupt you guys if you were making a point.
Well, I was just thinking, seeing how it's Elon Musk, I would not be surprised that if they didn't just get like
he's the little girl that they're sending. That's it, right? You think he's the little girl?
One of the girls is one of his 13 kids.
Oh, he says he's only got 12 kids.
I think it's 13. Well, it's because one is still
denying
pregnant.
the existence of one because it's a trans person. And
that's right. Yeah.
You should never do. And listen, I don't care what your kid does. You don't say "dead to me" to your own child. Anybody,
that's right. It's different if they're stepchild.
You can say you're dead to me.
You can say you're dead to me.
If it's Dan West, you could say you're dead to me, but not your own kid.
No, true. If it's your own kid, you don't say they're dead to me. Say you're in hospice to me.
Well, here's the thing.
If it's boy, you could say dead to me.
I've had this conversation before with people about like loving their kids unconditionally.
It's just a thing.
And I don't believe that because here's the thing. If my child, for example, ended up being a sexual predator or a pedophile or a school shooter or murdered a child or just murdered somebody not murdered somebody in general, because there could be self-defense or whatever. But if he did something just atrocious, like one of those things I've mentioned, no, you're dead to me. Like that's game over. I'm not going to be
parent. You're a bad parent. First of all, you have to look at how'd they get that way. You raised this kid. What was your part in it?
No,
you did it. You did it.
No,
I agree. I agree for the most part. But at the same time, if for example, if my child's never been sexually assaulted and then they grow up to rape somebody, I don't know if I can take blame
you're
for
saying
that.
If as if you don't know.
Exactly. You did it.
Maybe.
Thank you.
There goes the next sound guy.
The board. There goes the board op.
The board op is having a seizure.
I used to tell the kids, if you get in trouble doing something I told you to do, I will move heaven and earth to help you. If you get in trouble doing
kids, you mean your children, not the ones that like Steven's kids. Not Steven's kids.
Well, I don't have any. I don't have any kids with my own sperm. I have
kids. The children. Don't tell your mother about this or anybody.
No, that's not a thing.
The Pope.
I don't have kids with my own sperm. I've raised other kids, stepchildren.
Well.
And the rule has always been, if you get in trouble doing what you learned from me, I will move heaven and earth to help you. But if you get in trouble because you didn't listen to me and you listen to your friends, they call your friends.
I don't believe you can move earth. Prove it. Well, go ahead, move earth.
You're not my kid. Why should I do it for you?
It doesn't matter. I just want to see that you can do it. You can put it right back.
I can only do it once, and then I'm spent. That's like saying I would take a bullet for you, and you say, prove it, and I take a bullet and I die. That's
stupid. To treat the
you don't think I would hurt myself moving heaven and earth? You think I could do that twice?
I would hope.
I do it just to show you.
You're really bad.
I do it just to show you that my kids get in trouble and says, Dad, I need you to move heaven and earth. I say I can't. I moved it once and I can't do it again. Why won't you move it? Matt asked me to prove that I could move it.
My best friend ever in my entire life, Slaptail Squad, says I do a joke about having children and a favorite child. Shameless promotion of my comedy. First of all, my children would only grow up to be serial killers, not pedos, spree killers, or rapists.
Well, see, and that's different. If your kid just kills for the joy of it.
What's the difference between a spree killer and a serial killer?
One kills Latrell Sprewell.
Well, I think a serial killer
sprees and one kills serial.
Latrell Sprewell. His nickname.
Well, I think a spree killer is somebody who just kills will just randomly drive a truck into a crowd of people or something. Whereas a serial killer might be more
than 3 people.
Steven, that's called
more than 3 people. Aren't you a serial killer? Isn't it the definition?
I think that's called a car ramming, right? What was it called?
It was a car ramming attack.
Chevy.
Yeah.
I guess if you're a spree killer and you kill like more than one person and one, so I guess a serial killer, it's each killing has to be a cooling off period. That's what I say. Yeah, it has to be a separate incident.
An urgent settings notification.
Yeah.
Steven, help me out. What do I do, Mr. Phone Guy? Oh, software update. Not a chance. I'll do it tonight. If I do it now, I'm fucked.
I've always maintained. I've always maintained, but I learned from my mother that any parent that has more than one child who doesn't have a favorite child is lying to you.
Why does it say use number 55 near your head? Your head being used for the 55th time?
No. This is use number 55 of my urn.
Oh, well, you were blocking the urn, so it looked like it was just your head that was being.
So
used.
what is this particular urn thing called?
Oh, this is a bathroom air freshener.
Number 55.
Yeah, it's how do I get? I had to get rid of the name thing.
Urn
so you can see
freshener.
it.
It's like a Sammy Hagar thing. I can't die 55.
I want to get rid of the name thing real quick. How do I do that?
What thing?
I don't know if you can.
The name?
You can. There it is. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's in brand.
Yeah, I just dropped my phone.
Oh God! Now I can't see anything because your ass is messing with the green screen.
You just farted right in the urn's face. Wait, that's not even an urn. What the hell is it? It's a lot.
Bathroom.
That's my urn. That's bathroom air freshener.
It looks like a lime pick.
Bathroom air freshener.
Okay. That was a lot of work.
It was. Bathroom air freshener.
It would have been funny if the delivery wasn't so angry.
And
or if you would have tripped and fell when he got up.
Yeah, that's the back of my urn. That's my urn. That's the back of my urn. The back of my urn. That's what it looks like.
Now, may I finish the reason I was bringing up the weed?
You guys seen Oppenheimer? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah. See, so I brought instead of smoking a little thing worth, I rolled a joint. Now that I've diminished my tolerance, I guess, or whatever, that a joint is too much for me now. I'm going to go into trippy land, especially if it's the white weed, and it was the white weed. But
why'd you say especially if it was the white weed when you know it was the white weed? Wouldn't you just say it was the white weed instead of you just?
It was the white weed.
Okay, just say that.
From Weed World, white weed from Weed World.
Weed World, Weed World, excellent.
I started the not trip, but you know how the white weed gets.
You can't. Yeah, you start to fall over. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
But I started thinking, as white weed trippiness will make me do, about AI stuff. And I'm saying this just to piss GD off, to make him, because this is an angry delivery. I'm trying to be funny, but it's just too angry. I found uses for AI that I think absolutely important for musicians who and anybody who is really a creative person to get on the AI bandwagon now, before because here's what
before all the songs are used up.
Yeah, not just the songs. Again, kind of using that reference of back in the day, everybody was like Lindrums and Lynn Sweetcomb, which is that was the devil. No, nobody's ever going to use that. And then a year and a half later, everybody was behind the eight ball when every studio needed somebody who knew how to program that shit. If you're not using it now and finding creative ways to use the tools, you're going to be boxed out by the industry, whatever your industry is, whether that's authorship. Now, I'm not saying use it like I did a couple of times already to create whole songs for you. But I think if you write the songs out and you use it, those prompts can be really helpful. But here's the number one good use for AI that is legitimate, I think. And I think even GD will agree with me on this. Are you with me, Steven? Are you with me?
I'm with you.
If, let's just say you were had like a Porter studio that you recorded shit on and lost the master tapes. If you have MP3s or even cassette tapes of your work that you want to remix, AI can be really, really helpful in taking off those individual stems, playing it, and then you can get your original recordings back in stems and remix stuff and rework stuff that you had from the past that you could not do with AI. You simply, without AI, you could not simply couldn't do it. So I think that's a legitimate use for it. And I've gone down this rabbit hole now of finding some stuff that I had it on 2-inch tape, or some I had it on 1/2-inch tape for 8-track stuff. And I've been able to kind of bring out the stems and figure out what I did wrong and why I hate that mix in the first place and rework it. So I think there's a lot legitimate use for that, and going back in old recordings from the 40s, from before digital stuff even existed, and finding ways to enhance and remix and make this stuff better. That is not an illegitimate use. The AI is doing all the creativity.
I dig it.
It's just a tool. And so I think that's an important thing to kind of understand, that there are legitimate uses for the tool.
I never said there wasn't any. I never said there was not legitimate uses.
Fucking sucks. I hate AI. I'll kill anybody who uses it. That's an exact quote.
But here's my question though: is GD, why did you go visit Ron, and why is that the only picture you brought back with you?
It looks like there's a stain, a wine stain. And
there's Vaseline. His pants are down. Oh my god! Oh, it gets so much worse. His pants are down. There's tissue on the urn. There's Vaseline and lotion.
What's in the green bottle?
Gold Bond. Lotion.
And what's the other thing?
Vaseline.
Vaseline.
Were you fucking your urn?
No, so those are all comedy DVDs on the floor there.
Why is there tissue on the urn?
Well, you got to clean up with something.
Oh my god!
Why is Saturday Night Live trending? Does anybody know what's going on?
No,
I don't know.
I don't know either. I've never seen a dopey show since 1978, 79 or something like this. So, but it's trending, and I want to know why. I gotta know why. Don't I gotta know why?
This is one of those pictures that I posted on Facebook. One of my urn uses. This is actually use number 101. The last use of my urn before I die, and I guess you can call it.
What is the use actually? Because it's sitting next to you while you're taking a dump.
He's putting cummy tissues in it.
He's beating off or he's shitting? Because I thought he
was beating off.
See that I'm in an office chair. See, I'm sitting on an office chair. My pants are around my ankle.
So you are beating off into your urn.
And no, that's what you put the used tissue in the urn. And these things on the floor.
You beat off into a tissue.
And those things on the floor are comedy DVDs and comedy CDs. So the implication is that I'm doing pleasuring myself to other comedians' jokes.
I feel like somebody put white weed in my coffee or something.
And the thing is, when I posted that, most of the people really didn't get it. But Tom Myers got it. That's his CD right there. He got it right away. Yeah.
Tom Myers got it.
Yeah. Because I didn't explain it. I just posted it. I didn't explain it.
You should update that with some. You should update that with some Jackie Martin CDs down there too.
Steven is a better impressionist than me by far. So.
I took that picture before I had my Jackie Martin stuff. I have I could have put his book down there.
So
I'm coming to Jokeland.
Do either one of you guys have a reason to hate Doug Lawrence, our county Mountie, or Canadian Mountain, our ex-Mountie?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Tonight's young.
You've met him before. We've talked to him before. You don't remember. I don't know if we.
I'll have to see his face.
We asked him about Dudley Do-Right and Nell and all that stuff.
That sounds familiar.
Let me get rid of those questions then, because that's what I was going to ask him about.
But we can still bust his balls, and we'll ask him if we've busted his balls previously about this, his resemblance to the Tiger King.
Let me get rid of that question.
I did not know we get rid of that question. No, that's a good one. That one's still on the table. I don't think we asked.
No, you get to ask it then, because I don't know what I asked him last time. I'm not going to repeat the same question.
That's a tough question. I leave that shit up to you, man. I'm too scared.
What's scary? Yeah. To do what? You scared? No.
So he's Canadian. Now the Canadians threw a monkey wrench at Trump last night.
Right. Okay, got it.
I'm sorry. When I say a wrench, I didn't mean to say monkey wrench. A wrench, right? They did.
Terribly insensitive.
They elected a liberal who's not going to want to be part of the United States, not going to want to be the 51st state.
What? Why would they not want to be that?
I think his name is Dana Carvey.
So, yeah, I guess that Canada had their elections yesterday.
Narvey. Yeah, Dana Carvey won, right? Dana Carvey.
Something Carney people.
Oh, Art Carney won.
Yeah.
Ed Norton. Yes.
So that probably means that the guy that was on the show yesterday, the musician yesterday, is not happy about that.
Why?
I don't know. He didn't really get into his views yesterday.
Why was he? He was a Trumper.
I think he was a very conservative person. Yeah.
Why? What makes you think that? He didn't say that.
He said, "I'm not been happy with the way my government's been the past few years. Their government's been."
And he said he didn't want to get political. Yeah.
Right, and then he said, "I didn't want to, but I don't want to get political." But he said he wasn't happy with the way the government's been the past few years. His government. And when I apologized for Trump, he said something. His answer wasn't. It was more like it's not so bad kind of thing. You have to go back and look at it to find out the exact answer. But
I didn't catch that. I didn't get any like hardcore like MAGA vibes off him. Oh, MACA. Oh no.
No, I'm not saying hardcore MAGA, but definitely conservative. Like he would not, yeah, because I think he was saying he wouldn't be, like he wasn't against Trump coming up there and taking over. That was the impression I got.
I don't think that's conservative. I think that's fucking radical. It's insane. That's like,
well, yeah. He's Canadian.
He's not conservative. He's an idiot.
Huh?
Not conservative. He's an idiot. An idiot. It's different than being a conservative. Like conservative is here, idiot is to the right of conservative. That's where he is.
Yeah.
Anyway, like Steven, this is why Steven wears his MAGA hat backwards, not to let people know that he's an idiot.
It's not a MAGA hat.
Oh, what is it?
He celebrates the 4 people that died in Ohio.
Ohio State.
Those 4 dead. Nixon's coming.
4 dead
in Ohio.
Yeah. No, that was Kent State, not Ohio State.
Yeah, but they were in
Ohio.
Yeah, they're in Ohio.
Yeah, but not Kent. He's got an Ohio State hat.
I know, but I said in Ohio. I said specifically. I know it happened.
I'm just saying either he doesn't know his history.
He doesn't know his history.
Dead.
He just knows it happened in Ohio.
History. Where did
he know? He knows it happened in the state of Ohio. That's why he's got his Ohio State hat on. Because it happened in the state of Ohio.
What university did the Kent State massacre occur at?
Probably Kent State.
How did you guess that?
I just know by history, man.
All right. What president sent the bad guys there?
Nixon. No, Reagan.
Wow. No,
yeah,
Nixon. You were right.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what kind of soldiers? What kind of soldiers were they?
National Guard.
10 soldiers. They were 10 soldiers.
They were 10.
10. They were 10. 10 soldiers, and Nixon's coming.
10 is not the best kind of. I think you should make it at a platinum or something if you're going to make a soldier.
Yeah, but we're talking 1977. 70, not 77, 72?
1970.
79? 80?
70. Why would Nixon was already in he was in San Clemente whacking off with David Frost.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I know. I got to play the news because why?
You're 2 minutes. You're prematurely newsulating.
So which one of you guys is going to contact Dan West and tell him, yeah, you stood us up? Not me.
Not me. Maybe. I don't care if he shows up or not. Why would I reach out to him?
It's too late now. He's not. He blew his hour. Like Stephen blew the kids behind the dumpster.
Oh, that's not a thing. Play the news.
John Edwards.
President Trump hinted at the possibility of a new income tax cut aimed at lessening the financial impact of his administration's tariffs.
The president suggested the relief would primarily target individuals and families earning less than $200,000 per year. This proposal comes as polls indicate increasing public concern that the widespread tariffs could lead to higher prices for consumer goods. Trump stated via social media that the tax cuts could significantly reduce or even eliminate income tax burdens for many Americans. Kevin Sanders reporting.
reporting. Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced a unilateral 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine set to begin on May 8th. This temporary halt in hostilities is timed to coincide with Russia's World War II Victory Day celebrations.
The announcement follows recent high-level discussions involving U.S., Ukrainian, and Russian officials aimed at finding a path to end the conflict. President Trump had recently expressed disappointment with Moscow for continuing attacks, despite ongoing diplomatic efforts. Benjamin Wright reporting.
A U.S. airstrike has reportedly hit a detention center in Yemen, holding African migrants, according to Houthi media outlets.
The strike occurred in the western Sada province, a region frequently targeted in recent operations. Houthi officials claim at least 68 migrants were killed and another 47 injured in the bombing. The Pentagon has acknowledged conducting numerous strikes in Yemen, stating over 800 have occurred since mid-March. Lawrence Keller reporting.
This is the latest news headlines. Migrants and put them in like a building, and then let you go.
I can't listen to you. Wine producers in New York's Finger Lakes region are increasingly adopting sustainable practices within their vineyards.
These efforts are part of an adaptation strategy to combat the growing effects of climate change on their industry. As the state's largest wine-producing area, the Finger Lakes vineyards are grappling with challenges posed by changing weather patterns impacting grape harvests. Jessica Oakley reporting.
Sales of previously owned homes in the United States decreased by nearly 6% in March compared to February.
This marks the slowest rate of existing home sales recorded in the past 7 months. The National Association of Realtors suggests that persistent factors like higher mortgage rates and increasing home prices are dampening sales activity, even as the number of homes listed for sale has risen. In other economic news, initial claims for unemployment benefits remained relatively steady last week. Jim Kender reported.
Former Memphis police officers involved in the death of Tyre Nichols are facing a second federal trial.
The first trial concluded earlier this year without the jury reaching unanimous verdicts on the civil rights charges against them. Prosecutors will proceed with a new trial for the officers implicated in Nichols' fatal beating. The case has garnered significant national attention regarding police conduct and accountability. A date for the retrial is expected to be set soon. Kyle Norris reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
Not really, but for as close as they get to latest news headlines. I want to talk about this polls thing because Trump is whining about polls. There's a Fox News poll put him at like worst approval rating than anybody in the last 100 years, even himself in the first term. And he's whining about that, calling it a fake poll. Meanwhile, the same company, the same people put out a poll saying the approval rating of the Democratic Party is even lower than that. And that's a true poll. So the fake poll is the one that says something that he doesn't like, and the one by the same poll by the same people that says something he does like. That's the real one. It's almost as if he's saying the only polls you can believe are the ones that say good things about him.
That's what it sounds like, yeah. I mean, that's his MO though, right? It's free speech as long as it's what he agrees with.
Yeah, it's such a transparently pitiful position to take. If the same people are doing the same polls, and you're only saying one is real and the other one is not real because I don't like it, hurts my feelings. You are just a little wussy boy. You don't deserve to be president of the United States. You don't. Go ahead. You don't even deserve a Big Mac for your big fucking fat.
GD, when you walked away, it was almost gross just looking at that room while you were gone.
What did you do? You went to get food? You didn't get food for everybody else. You just went to go eat? You just took a fucking lunch break?
How can you eat how can you eat in front of your cum jug behind you like that? That's disgusting.
I'm gonna have to talk to HR about this. You don't just get up from your desk and go to lunch without fucking.
He didn't even clock out.
I know, and he didn't bring a bucket of chicken back for the rest of us.
Wow, disrespectful.
I'm hung up on chicken today.
First of all, I didn't go to get something to eat. I went to go get my hoodie.
Are you cold?
Yes, I'm very cold.
But he had to go to 72 where you are.
It is 72 where I am.
The heat is set for 69 inside the house, and outside it's like 67 or something.
That's plenty warm for a guy your age.
Sorry, 63.
You're gonna be cold soon enough anyway. I mean, really cold, crazy cold.
I'm being cremated. I won't know
Me
that.
too.
But no, I'm talking about going to hell, where you are definitely on your way.
Oh,
crazy cold down there.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so I was telling Stephen about the polls thing. Like the poll, same people do the same polls. If it says something negative about Trump, it's fake. If it says something negative about the Democrats, it's all real, absolutely real.
You look like black. You look like Black Slimer.
You know what? It reminded me of. Now I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because it is the most racist thing I've ever thought of in my life.
Really? And
I doubt that. I doubt that.
I doubt
All right, you want me to say it? You want me just to say it?
No, I don't care if you say it or not. I mean, I'm just saying you don't have to say it. You can say it if you want.
You want me to say it, don't you? You're probing me to say it. And
I just want to be able to call you like a racist POS or something. So go ahead.
You want me on that? You want me on that wall? You need me on that wall.
You damn right I did. When you were doing the little, all I could think of was Wizard of Oz. You know, the bad witch, and she sent them monkeys out.
Oh, the flying monkeys. That's terribly
really
racist.
Monkeys. They were monkey-like weird demons, right? What
they're monkeys. If you watch Wicked, they're monkeys.
Flying monkeys.
Hi, Ann. I didn't type it in, but good morning, Ann. Ann says hello, everybody.
Hello, how you doing?
Hello, and tuning into Racism with the Dog. Bezos is trending. You know Bezos. You know my friend Jeff. He's trending because Amazon is getting their ass kicked by the tariffs. I guess a lot of the shit they imported, the stuff they sell. So now he's going to list, when you buy something, he's going to list the price, the tax, and what the tariffs are doing, causing it, passing it on to other people, just as we knew they would do. But he's still a Trump supporter at this point. But he's also finding out that he's going.
There's the lion. There's the cowardly lion. There's the bear right behind. There's Dorothy and them are.
I think you got the wrong green screen going on. There's no cowardly lion. What are you talking about?
Underneath, the Tin Man and.
Do you see anything?
I see a bear and some tin. That's it.
Yeah, the Tin Man. It's Wizard of Oz.
All right. So you don't care about.
I have an urn for almost every occasion. I have an urn picture.
So Bezos is gonna list. So Bezos is gonna
listing what the tariffs will do to you. So he's giving you a price on something plus the tax, listing the tax separately.
I don't think Trump's gonna like that.
I don't think so either. Why?
Because that's gonna make him look bad.
How can he do that when first of all, these are executive orders, and a lot of these things haven't happened. And and he keeps changing it on a daily basis. What's he gonna do? Update it every hour, every day, every time Trump changes his mind?
Seems like a big problematic endeavor for Amazon to have to change stuff every day, depending on what the news said, right?
This could be their protest to the tariffs by just showing people, hey, this is what we voted for.
I agree that they tend to lose a lot of money if well, we all do. We all tend to lose a lot of money. But the thing is, Amazon would just lose sales because they're just going to pass their costs on to us anyway.
I tend to lose a lot of money.
Oh yeah, we all do. Those of us who are not wealthy will lose a lot of money.
Oh, I think that leaves me out. You know,
I think that. See, I don't have a lot of money left to lose. I'm
independently wealthy, as everybody knows. Independent of cash, independent of credit. But other than that, I'm rich where it counts. People love me.
You know, you might want to check on those funds.
I know that was funny. At least you got
have you tried paying bills with that? You can't.
That's funny, not true. Yeah, I've seen plenty of people pay their rent with their mouth and hands.
Bill is a musician who's used to not getting paid. He did a radio show for 35 years and never got paid for it once.
Who?
So, Bill. You said, do I pay bills? Bill, the bass player, Bill Capozzi. Now, Bill did a radio show for 35 years and never got paid for it. And it would bother me that he would not do a gig, a music gig that he would get paid for, to go do his crappy little radio show that he wasn't getting paid for. It irked me. Like, why are you doing that? I mean, nobody.
I'm sorry, Matt. Could you repeat that? I didn't hear you. My mic was on mute. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, your mic was on mute.
Yeah, my mic was on mute, so I couldn't hear you. Would you mind repeating what you just said?
No, I don't mind repeating it. This is what I just said.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool. I got you.
All right. Doug Lawrence is here. Unlike our first guest, Dan West, who just despicable person that Stephen hates and wants to kill. Doug Lawrence knows his way here because he's been here before. And he left
breadcrumbs. He left moose in trails so he can find his way back.
This guy,
moose tracks.
His new book is called Grief, the Silent Pandemic. Grief is a silent pandemic. Now, in my case, grief was not a silent pandemic. It was a very loud, that's what grief looks like in my case. Now, that's far from silent, right?
That's funny. Your grief also looks like a very unattractive man. It's very similar between it.
That's a fair
resemblance.
This is part of why I grieve, because I was born ugly.
I didn't think you were born ugly. I thought you just like worked your way into that. You've had like grew into it. You know, like when people, you know, like when kids have big ears and you say, "Don't worry, you'll grow into them."
Why is
they never do?
I'm trying to introduce a guest. You feel like you have to just tear me down.
Technically, the guest has 4 minutes still.
Yeah, but give him a little extra time. He got here early, our other guests never.
You're 100% right.
You're finally right. You're finally right on something. Go ahead.
All right. Doug Lawrence was not part of a duo with Edie Gourmet. That was Steve Lawrence. But I don't know why I brought that up, because GD made me. Doug Lawrence is an international certified mentor.
I don't think I have any Canadian reference earned.
Let him finish.
Oh, go ahead, Matt. You finished. You finished, man. I'm sorry.
And he holds 2 mentor certifications, certificate of.
Wait, what about? Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I can't read these. My glass. I need new glasses, dudes. Anyway, he's got a new book out called Grief, the Silent Pandemic. He's here now, and we'll talk about the book. How about that? Let's say hello back again to Doug Lawrence. Good morning, Doug. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, good morning.
Can we get that put on a t-shirt, by the way? I need new glasses, dudes.
I do need new glasses. I can't see. I couldn't read your bio, Doug. I'm sorry. All its mentor certifications and stuff.
Yeah.
But does it really matter? You're a certified mentor. That's all people really need to know.
I'm certified, yes.
Yes. And I'm certifiable. I'm showing the book there. Now, let me bring up the URL for people who want to go buy the book at Amazon. I got a shortened link where you can go buy it at Amazon. Okay, let's talk about grief, because I think a lot of people have, and I've talked to several people who are grief experts, grief counselors, all this kind of stuff. And everybody talks about the 5 stages of grief and what you're supposed to do when grieving. And shit happens to all of us. We all have reasons to grieve. In my case, being born ugly was just the start of it. But I think we're looking for a one-size-fits-all with grief. Do you agree? I mean, that kind of everybody has to figure out their path to getting past the grieving stage on their own, and not necessarily go by a playbook. Do you agree with that, or you think there is a one-size-fits-all?
No, it doesn't. Everybody grieves on their own terms, and if you take a look at the 5 stages of grief, that's just a guide. That these are some of the things you may experience, but you don't go step 1, I feel like this, I react like this, step 2, and then I move to step 3. No, it's you go through it as it basically as it is. And
right.
Yeah, so you just, people who think that there's 5, 7 stages, that they're going to just follow these and everything will be rosy when they get to the end. There is no end.
That's exactly, like I was going to ask you, like, where do we know that when we're done grieving? Because I feel like I just kid myself and tell myself that I'm over it. But I still carry the scars and the wounds around all my entire life, right? So we're never really done. I don't know. I'll get your perspective on it. How do we know when we're done?
I think it's easier to, how do I know, what's coming next more than anything else, because there is no end to the grieving process. And I think the more that we realize that, and that ties into, the silent pandemic part of it, is that that's all part of it, is that, we're moving forward. We're keeping a lot of the stuff bottled up inside of us, and we're not getting it out and discussing it. So what ends up happening is, I lost my wife and to cancer. So I'm still grieving that. But what if one of my other family members passes on and I haven't totally dealt with the grief from the loss of my wife? It's all compounding.
Yeah.
Now I think that I know, like, for example, I didn't lose my brother. He died. I know exactly where he is. Well, I have an idea. So he's not lost, but he's dead.
But you never liked him in the first place, right?
He and I weren't that close, so I didn't grieve. When he died, they called me and they said, your brother's dead. I went, okay. And that was it. Now, when my cat died, I cried like a baby for years. I mean, to this day, my cat, I don't grieve. I have fond memories of him.
Yeah.
But I still feel, but no, I have fond memories of him. I don't grieve him. But
when you say like a baby, could it be just maybe you needed your diaper changed?
He was like,
no, I wasn't even. No, I was standing naked, so there was no diaper to change.
All right, enough. I don't need to go there. I've had enough disturbing pictures in my head today. But
you don't have to have those pictures in your head. They're on your phone. Just look on your phone. They're right there.
We're trying to talk to Doug, and you keep interrupting.
I apologize, Doug. I was just trying to, I was just saying that the things that I grieve the most.
Why are you going to apologize to me?
Yeah, yeah. When I grieve the most, once I read a song about it, or in a joke or something, I'm pretty much over the grieving. That's it. I'm done. That's my final stage.
I'm so glad your microphone is not working right now, or not working as it should be. Anyway, this idea of not feeling, is it limited to grief? We purposely avoid feeling things. I think it's all runs the gamut across a lot of different emotions in society. We're just kind of trying to numb ourselves to any kind of human experience, right? Or do you agree with that or disagree with that?
No, I agree with that. We try to, I guess numb is probably the best way to describe it. If I can numb my feelings and that, then I can get through another day versus, trying to feel and then having to deal with that on top of what everything is handed to me to have to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah. So now in writing the book, you mentioned your wife's passing. Did this help you deal with that, or did it just kind of every day you were torturing yourself in writing and bringing back all the stuff that you were going through? I'm just trying to figure out the process here. Did it help, or the writing of the book? Did it help, or did it make it tougher?
Both. To be honest, both. I had times where it was very therapeutic and it helped me work through some things. And then I had times where it took me back to the day we were sitting in the emergency room at the hospital and the doctor came in and told us that what the test results were. And I pretty much knew at that time point that my wife was going to die and I needed to come to terms with that.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? I don't know exactly how we ever, because I am just curious as hell about what, if there is an afterlife and all that kind of stuff, and what coming to terms with that is. So in some parts of me, I almost wish like there is no afterlife. I think that's where peace really is, because the idea that there's an afterlife means the suffering continues after this. Like, that's not the end of suffering. I don't know. Did you get any kind of perspective on what happens with this at the end of life?
Well, it definitely wasn't an end of life. I guess is probably the best way to answer that. Is that spiritually, take it for what it's worth. I feel as though I'm very well connected to the spiritual side. So I had visits from spirits that, showed up in my bedroom, for example, that I never experienced before. I saw my wife a couple times, and then I saw people that I had no idea who the heck they were, but yet they still came to visit, and being able to kind of wrap my head around that part of it and the spiritual side also helped with my ability to be able to heal.
So, but and I'm not, because generally, if we weren't such a serious subject, I would be kind of trying to look for a yuck in there. But the idea that life goes on after this, doesn't that kind of not putting doesn't it fails to put an ending to the idea of suffering, because the idea that we live again or go someplace beyond this just leaves the possibility that I'm just looking for that Tony Soprano moment where it all goes to black and nobody has to watch anymore, where where there's peace. And I don't think there is that idea of afterlife means there's no peace. It means you keep going on, look like you're constantly in school and never going to graduate. That's my fear of.
That depends on the school of thought. There's some schools of thought that says in the afterlife you actually are detached. The reason why that we grieve is because we're still attached, and in the afterlife you reach a state where you are no longer attached, so therefore you are not grieving because there is no reason to grieve. You're not attached to it. You're more like an observer. You're distant from it.
So
that's a different school of thought.
Do you go into this kind of discussion in the book, Doug?
Actually, it's the topic for the next book. We've had some conversations about that, about spirituality and grief, and going through and talking about that. And I've had numerous experiences where I've been exposed, or I've been able to see or talk to, but long story short, with the spirit world, so to speak. So we felt that it was something I get asked a lot about, spirituality and all of that. So I thought that probably the next book should address that.
Wow. I had a lady on, she called herself a ghost helper, Tina Irwin, on my evening show last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Anyway, she said she helps spirits move on because so many of them, her point is we don't know what to do. Your spirit doesn't know what to do when you die, so they get stuck here. And that to me was like a frightening. Going back to what GD said, that attachment is still here. They don't know what to do. I don't want to be that. I don't even want to think about that. I just want that black moment where nothing happens, and I'm not attached to anything.
Just so you know, Matt, I've had black moments all my life. It doesn't necessarily help or hurt. They're just. Matter of fact, I don't even call them black moments. I just call them moments.
But I get don't I get a Cadillac and a welfare card when? I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Matt, that was terrible.
I know.
No,
well, my uncle Archie Bunker would have supported me saying that, so I just wanted.
No, it's Denali's now.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm a terrible person.
You get the Denali's and gin and juice. You're so old.
Back to Doug, because it's getting too hot for me in here. Okay. Now. And having these kind of discussions, I'm assuming, well, this show is painful enough, but I mean, on other shows that are not so painful, just by the characters that are on the show, is is it hard for you to kind of even come out and continue talking about this, but you feel like you have to anyway to get people to read your book? But is it a tough experience having to have these conversations over and over and over again?
Not, I would have thought so, but not really. Take it for what it's worth, but having the conversations with you guys, it's actually therapeutic. It gives me the chance to talk about it as I describe it. It allows me another opportunity to tell Deborah's story and to tell my story in conjunction with that. And so it's being able to do that. And that was part of the idea behind the book Grief, the Silent Pandemic, was to be able to take some of the lived experiences that I had and put them into the book so that I can share those with other people that don't get to watch this, to watch your show.
Now, Doug, when you found that your wife was going to die, how much time did you have to prepare for that moment?
She was diagnosed in December and she passed in February.
So it was only 3 months?
Is that a good thing? Because to me, and it always sounds cruel, but I would, if I got somebody in that position who I really love, I want it to be quick. And even though I want them here with me, I don't want to suffer, because I've seen how cancer can last for years and really, really be a terrible, awful, horrible experience. Do you feel like that was a blessing or a curse, this 3 months?
I guess you can never spend enough time, especially when you know that the end is just around the corner. I think for me, and it sounds kind of self-satisfying, I guess, more than anything, I would have liked to have had some extra time, and maybe it's more so that you could have those tough conversations about if when I pass on, this is what I would like to have, and so all those sorts of things. Like Deborah didn't want any fanfare, or didn't want a service, or didn't want a celebration or anything of her life, and we did exactly totally the opposite. We actually planned a celebration of life once COVID got out of our way, and we were able to do so. But we actually went through and did that, and that was a way for a lot of people to get closure with her passing.
Now, before she passed, did she by chance say to you, like, Doug, I have a little bit of time left. These are the women that I want you to consider being my replacement. Here's a list here are a list of approved women for you to date. I will be okay, but if you go outside of this list, I will haunt you. And so was it that kind of moment where she picked?
No,
because my wife is still very much alive, and she haunts me.
But does your wife have a list of people for you to date?
No.
Obviously, she didn't have a list of podcasts he should not go on.
Okay.
It's but in a way, because I hear what you're saying about she did not want any celebration of her life, but in some ways, in a very real way, we're celebrating her life here today. The book is or at least a tribute to her life in some way. Because that she expressed to you that she didn't want that, but you felt compelled to anyway. I understand why. I don't know. I would wrestle with, am I doing the right thing? Because I know she didn't really want this. Any of that?
I guess the thoughts went through my mind about, well, she didn't want anything, so let's take the sort of the easy way out, and we won't bother. We'll just do an immediate family thing. But instead, there was a lot of people that came to me and said, I hope that you're going to have a celebration of life, because I didn't get the chance to properly say goodbye to her. I want to be able to do that through a celebration of life. And that's what we did. We had close to 100 people that actually came to the hotel that we held it in, and they were there to, help celebrate her life. People told stories of, memories that they had and all those wonderful things. And it was just a matter of making the call that we're going to do this, whether she liked it or not.
Yeah. I woke up a day last week. It was the first time in years I actually woke up. No, I woke up thinking about 4 people in my life who had passed. 3 very close friends and my son who had passed. And the fact that I never knew the last time I said goodbye to them would be the last time I would say goodbye to them. And that is a different experience than knowing somebody is going to pass and expecting it and trying to prepare yourself for it. And that definitely left a hole in my heart and a hole in my psyche is this idea that I didn't properly get to say goodbye to them. I didn't even know it would be goodbye. We so flippantly say, see you later. Yeah, bye for now. Have a good day, whatever. And we never think they could be taken from us at that moment. And that's really difficult. That's a whole different level of grief because it's shock and you're not prepared for it. Any lessons that learned in that you actually got 3 months as a gift to kind of gift, that's a tough word, but just time to prepare and both understand that you were saying goodbye and making that connection of love you, hope to see you again. It's even hard to say, but just, do you feel like that was a blessing in some way?
Knowing the pain, or I guess we don't know, but understanding that she was going through a lot of pain, that I think the one wish I had was that, I as much as I wanted to hang on to her as long as I possibly could, I felt that it would be better if she was able to let go and pass on, so she didn't have to go through the pain and suffering that she went through. Like the cancer had gone through her, just wiped out her body. They did chemotherapy 3 sessions, and that almost finished her without anything else being in the path. So
wow.
There was all these things, and as you want to say, if I could do it all over again, I'd wish that she would have lived for another 2 or 3 years, but then at what expense?
Right. Yeah. We've talked about kind of the idea of people putting out how to grieve books and how to grieve type of things. I think one of the things that really gets me is how to help people grieve, and people have the best intentions. People who GD made I think it was a joke about his cat. Not a joke. I think he was serious about it, but this idea about the cat. When my son died, like 2 days after my son died, I got a call from a fan. She said, "I'm so sorry. I know exactly what you're going through. My cat died 18 years ago." Wait, are you trying to be helpful? This is how you're trying to help me grieve, is by comparing my son who died 2 days ago to your cat who died 18 years ago. To me, that's not helpful.
A lot of that comes.
Yeah,
that's really bad.
I did mourn my cat more so than I did my mom's passing or my brother's passing.
Something's wrong with your mic, dude. You're sitting on your mic. It's in your urn or something.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely was way more upset when my dog died than when my uncle died.
That's not the point I'm making here. I'm trying to make a point about people being really awkward and stupid when they're trying to help you grieve with the best of intentions. Is there anything in this or that you've learned that, especially within the book, that people might understand how to be a good friend to somebody who's going through grieving? And not to be a doofus, like my guy died 18 years ago, whatever. Say the wrong thing.
That's exactly my words, was that we far too often we don't know what to say, so we either say something stupid or we don't say anything at all. And what I've said to a lot of people is, they've come to me and they said, I don't know what to say to, that I could say that would help you at all. And I said, what you just did is sufficient enough. The fact that you've made an attempt at trying to, to share how you feel and that, and your concern for, my well-being, that says a lot. But you have those individuals that don't know what to say. And what I've said to them is, if you don't know what to say, then say that. Tell me that, say, as simple as it may sound is, Doug, I don't know what to say that, that would help in this situation. And I'm going to turn around and say, well, here's what I would like, or here's what I would appreciate, or here, something like that, so that you don't feel like, oh, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, because probably if you think that, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah. I think to say I'm here for you is enough. I think, and that's a big part of it. But some people just don't know enough to do that, and then they end up sticking their foot in their mouth and saying something really awkward. It's a tough.
I've done that. I've done that. I was at a funeral for my buddy, and he died, and I went up to his mom and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, but he's kind of a jerk. I went over there to say goodbye, and he gave me the cold shoulder, and she just was like,
was this
just
Dan
walked
West?
away.
Was it
no?
Dan West? Oh.
Yeah, that would have made sense if why he would have,
But yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing for people, and saying the wrong thing is definitely not. We're not taught what to do in those moments, and everything. We're all like lost and like, oh my God. So I think one of the worst things to say is, I know what you're going through, because everybody goes through. It's individual. You can't know what I'm going through. I'm going through pain. That's and pain is universal, but you can't understand my pain in how it references to what my life is like right now.
Yeah.
So that can be I don't know, not something you hear that you get angry about, but it doesn't make the pain. It doesn't help. It's not a helpful thing to say.
No.
I know what you're going through. In writing the book, did you write it to help people grieve, or did you write it basically as a therapeutic thing to help yourself grieve?
It was both. The big thing for me was to be able to, because there's not enough tools out there to help people deal with, their own grief and stuff like that. So I wanted to be able to provide that through the book, provide the tools that they may not have, and so provide the tools so that they're going to be able to not necessarily deal with their grief, but just know that, there are other people out there that are experiencing grief. They may not, they can sort of say they've walked in your shoes from the aspect of having to deal with their own grief, but not necessarily, we all grieve individually on our own terms.
Yeah. Do you hate the calendar?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. The big problem is dates they stick in your head, and then the worst moments in our life, we kind of put a bookmark on the calendar, even if it's not a physical one. And then every time that date comes up, I start preparing for it in two weeks in advance, like, oh, that date's coming. And somehow I think as human beings, the reason we developed the calendar was so we could torture ourselves more. If we could just do away with keeping track of time and what day it is, maybe that would be a better way to get through this experience called life. I don't know. It's just weird how we do that. Do you prepare in advance?
Yeah, I'm kind of a calendar freak when it comes to wanting to. I've got special dates on the calendar, birthdays, anniversaries, but also, if a good friend had lost their mom or their dad who passed away, I've got those dates on the calendar so that, that I remember. Like, I've got one coming up here tomorrow, actually, is a good friend. Her husband passed away. It would have been on the 30th of this month, And I want to be able to, just send a little message to say, just to let you know, you're in my thoughts and prayers. And sometimes, I found that in a lot of cases means a lot to some people.
It does, but for me, it's because I get those, and it's like I'm trying not to think about it. And I thank you very much. I appreciate the sentiment, but I almost had a moment where I stopped thinking about it for a moment, and then your private message or your DM or your text or whatever email came in, and now I'm brokenhearted again. Thank you for your wanting to ease my pain.
Damn it, Doug, for being so nice.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And so now in my family, like mainly my niece does this. I only have a couple of living relatives left right now, but my niece will post a picture of her mother on her birthday and say, "Happy heavenly birthday, Mom." And like, no. And I don't even do the liking thing. I stopped doing the liking thing. It's like, it's ridiculous to me. It's like, really?
I do the little I care emotion.
I don't even do that. I don't even acknowledge it anymore. I stopped acknowledging it. I have families I have cousins and stuff that go the same thing. Happy heavenly birthday, Mom. Happy heavenly birthday, grand. Like, I'm sorry, they're dead. I'm going on with my life. I have things to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and this is how cruel I am, or just. I think that's one less birthday I have to worry about now. Why are you going to make me continue to? I don't have to get a gift. I don't have to think about it. All that stuff. Let it go.
I don't have to look at those Amazon tariffs when I order Jim a gift.
Right? Yes. It's like if there's any bright side to this moving on, it's that now I just got relieved of a responsibility and obligation that I had to keep.
See, I think it depends on if you come from like a really big family and you used to have to buy a lot of gifts. Gifts are like, they're like money in the bank. Now, if you come from a small family, then you're like missing. It's more noticeable because then you're missing one of two or three people.
I come from a small family, and I'll tell you, there's a judgment on now. You cheaped out. We only have 3 people in this family. You only had to buy for 3 people, and you spent a total of $30. You cheap fuck. There's a lot of that judgment.
Well, I think I've lost enough people in my family that I can probably start buying gifts for the nieces and nephews again. Because before I just had too many people, and I was like, I can't buy gifts for everybody. Some of you are going to have to die off so that I can start affording these holidays.
They obliged.
Or deal with these tariffs. Anyway, so Doug, how long has the book been out?
It came out on the 20th of this month.
Okay. So have you had time to get some responses, and have you had any like really gratifying responses from people who said this book has been very helpful to me?
Yeah, I've had actually a couple book reviews where people have shared their own personal experiences and how the book has helped them deal with or understand their grieving in a little bit better than what they had before. So that part was kind of validating that what we had put together was some tools that people were going to be able to use to do that.
Very cool. Well, I applaud the fact that and again, the intentions here are to be helpful to other people and do something positive in the world in the name of your ex-wife, your wife who passed, your wife who's passed. But the idea that you're putting something positive out there in her memory is a great thing. And I even though it's got to cause you some additional pain to do it, it's a sacrifice, and it's a noble sacrifice. So I applaud you for doing that, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's just it to me it would be like I don't know. I'm looking for you to give me answers, and I know you're a human being, and you don't have all the answers. You just can share your story. But I think we want simple answers. How am I going to? How do I make this hole in my heart not feel like a hole in my heart every day? Is what we want, and people are really desperate for that. And the truth is, We can't help, and that's the hard truth. We can't heal that, and no time and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it does get better, but it never goes away. Never goes away. That loss never goes away, and it's sad to say, but it's reality, right? Or, yeah. Wow, that's a downer note. I'm sorry, folks. Simmons, that's funny. You ha-ha'd my downer note. You did. And you're laughing now. You're laughing now. Look, I'm hurting and you're laughing. Go ahead.
Do I amuse you? Am I funny like a clown? Is that Goodfellas?
No, funny like a Grim Reaper.
Oh. I was trying to remember the movie that was funny, like Goodfellas or Godfather, one of those things. Joe Pesci said it, right?
If we're a couple minutes left here, let's talk to Doug about I know we talked about this before.
The election. Let's talk. I want
to talk about the Mountie thing first. We can talk about the election. We have a little bit of time here, but the Mountie thing. With this, do you still maintain relationships? I don't think the audience knows that you were a former Mountie, Douglas Do-Right. Do you maintain relationships with your former colleagues in the mounted police?
A few, yeah, not as many as I would have thought, but it's like everything else with life. I go one way, they go a different way, and that's just the way it is.
Are they by nature spiritual, sympathetic, empathetic people?
Is that a question?
Yeah, are they?
It's hard to say with Matt.
Okay.
No, I was confused too.
Are they by nature sympathetic, empathetic people? Because the cops I know, they're trained to kind of not feel so much. Not it's kind of part of the training though. It's like military people. You have to kind of sublimate human emotion to do your job well, and then when it comes to keeping these relationships with people you care about, it's hard to turn the switch back on. Okay, I can be sympathetic, I can be empathetic again. Yes or no?
I would say yes. You kept a very small inner circle that you allowed people inside that circle, and everybody else was kind of pushed away. So you definitely had that. Because of the trauma and stuff that you had to deal with in some cases on an ongoing daily basis, you had to figure out coping skills that you were going to be able to use in order to deal with that trauma, some of which can be, like the conversation we've been having today is, with the humor, and that is the interjection of humor in order to help deal with some of the situations that you were having to deal with. A good laugh goes a long ways.
Now, I'm curious about services for mounted police, because in the United States, the stereotypical funeral for a fallen law enforcement member is bagpipes, Amazing Grace. I mean, that's like quintessential. It's Amazing Grace with bagpipes, and it's annoying to me. First of all, it's bagpipes and Amazing Grace.
I know it's the worst instrument. If you're gonna pay honor to somebody, get a better instrument to do it with.
So, is there a quintessential mounted police send off?
Well, there's regimental protocols that have to be followed. Yes, when a police officer has died in providing policing services to the general public. So the bagpipes, yes, we experienced that as well. Amazing Grace.
You had a choice. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Imagine we did it with the harmonicas and banjos.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have the same effect.
It would be just as annoying, or doubly annoying. I think all three. You do the bagpipes, banjos, and harmonicas, and then everybody is angry.
Yeah,
I think it depends on who the harmonica player is. I mean, if it's someone like the guy from Blues Travelers, I think he's a pretty good harmonica player.
That's blues harp. That's not the same as harmonica. Harmonica is that just that annoying tweet. Might as well be a kazoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just interesting, the whole Mountie stuff, because in the States, I'm sure a lot of people think that's something from the 1800s, the 19th century or something, mounted police. And here, one of the protocols, as GD was talking about, is they have these long parades, caravans of police cars out to the burial thing. And I'm thinking with Mounties, you got a bunch of guys on horseback.
Looks like a Trail of Tears.
Is that kind of like
now in U.S. customs? If there's a horse, there's usually boots with they're backward boots in the saddle. Is that a custom there as well?
No, it's the only place we would have the horses would be in the larger centers, like where the horses are kept, which is in Ottawa, Canada. So they would probably have the horses and use them for, ceremonial purposes, where if that were to happen here, we would march, be all dressed up in our regimental attire and that, but we would there wouldn't be any horses.
All right. I know GD's dying to ask you about an election for some reason. I think he meant erections. But yesterday we had a Canadian fella on, and he said something. You guys apologize more than Canadians, and I did not know apologizing was a Canadian thing. Can you? Is that a real, like a thing Canadians are known for, always apologizing?
Apparently so. Yeah, apparently so.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
I only
You're
make
American. Why are you apologizing? You got nothing to apologize for. Go.
Yeah.
I have a few friends in Canada, and a couple of them are real strong with the sorry.
Yeah.
All right, GD, you want to annoy him with your little election question or erection question?
No, it's too late now.
Too late.
He lost his election.
Well, first of all, do you guys get inundated with commercials during elections? Most of your election season is like really, really short compared to ours. Ours is like 4 years long.
Yeah.
You get inundated with commercials, and do they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it as big a surprise as the media, at least the social media, is making it seem like, wow, we didn't see that coming? I was like, well, generally, elections are pretty easy to predict, and there's not a lot of shockers. Was it as big a surprise as I'm being led to believe by what I'm reading on social media?
You mean the Canadian one?
Yeah, the election yesterday, right?
Yeah.
What?
It wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, remember it was a while ago. I mean, before Trump won and started threatening Canada, it looked like the Conservative Party was in the bag.
Yeah.
And then once Trump won here and started threatening Canada with tariffs and taking over and just a total disrespect, there was a swelling, underswelling, a groundswell of support for liberalism, Yeah. So if they can thank Trump for that.
Yeah. And now, go ahead.
All right, go ahead. No, I was just going to say, one of the headlines this morning was surprising comeback, and I was like, well, okay, are you surprised? Generally the elections here, the people know who's going to win beforehand. Yeah. I don't know. I was surprised that they were surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised they would say that they were surprised when there was no surprise.
All right. Do you want to be a 51st state, Doug? You want to be a part of you?
I'm quite comfortable where I am.
I don't blame you. It's like, I know this is not my joke or my observation. It's like living in an apartment over a crack house. That's what being Canada. Yeah, that country up there.
I don't blame you, man. I wouldn't.
Is there still a strong respect for King Charles there? Or
yes.
I mean, okay, I was just curious because you're kind of like removed by an ocean, and also you've had a chance to develop your own culture as well. Canada has its own culture separate from England, even though their face is on the money, and so is a beaver as well. But it's. I was just curious.
John Bieber?
Well, I don't know if it's John or not. I couldn't get a close up of the picture. I don't know if you still have beavers on your money or not. I know that
Steven's falling asleep here. You're keeping him awake.
He's doing this otter thing.
Does this question get better?
No, it's not supposed to get better. It's supposed to get.
All right. Well, we've been talking about the book Grief, The Silent Pandemic by Doug Lawrence, who is not Doug Lawrence and Edie Gourmet. That was Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet. One last thing we need to bust your balls about, Doug. Has anybody ever, and I know we didn't bring this up last time you were here, has anybody ever say you bear some resemblance to a guy named Exotic Joe or Joe Exotic?
I'm afraid to answer.
Say no. Say
you
no.
Know who that is?
Say no.
Yeah,
he's a Tiger King. He's a Tiger King. He had a series on Netflix about he was doing baby tiger shows and stuff. But he's in jail now. But he also ran for president.
That's what I call strong division.
It's because you're in Canada. I'm sure if you lived in the States, somebody would bust your balls about that because you do look like him in the picture.
Joe Exotic looks like, so I'm just going to defer to the experts, which is not me.
All right. We appreciate that you. First of all, your writing of the book, taking the time to do this, and the intention behind it, and you being on the program and being willing to share your story with people, as painful as it is for you. And we wish you good luck with it.
Well, Doug, I just have one other question. Since your wife did not leave you a list of women to date, do you think she would approve of the women that you would consider dating? Do you think that she would approve of those?
GD.
What kind of question is that? That's a broken.
I think so.
Okay, I'm just curious. But, if my wife were to say to me, "I'm dying," and these are the people. Look, she did. Let's put it this way. She already told me who she does not want me to date, and this was years ago when we first started dating. She goes, "These are the people I have. You cannot be around." So she had a list.
At my age, I think my wife knows if she died, I would just die soon enough after her, and I would, and all my time would be spent alone anyway. I mean, I don't know. I'm not looking for a replacement.
Oh, see, I got a list.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, at 65 years old or whatever you are,
65.
You're not going to be around. You're not going to be around long enough to get past the second date.
No, I have longevity in my family.
GD, how old's your wife?
You just said you're the only living person left in the family.
Right.
GD, how old's your wife?
22.
If I tell you, she'll kill me.
Well, she's younger than you, though, right? You're going to die first?
She's younger than me. Yeah.
Will I make the list of men she can date?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I don't have a list for her.
Why are we doing this to Doug? We have to let put Doug out of his misery of being on this program.
I don't have a list for my wife because in theory, my wife is going to go first.
Doug,
no.
Thank you for being on the program, but I also have to apologize for the bad behavior. And we do hope we help you sell some books, and some people will get the book. It's
absolutely
available. The link's in the description. Thanks for being here. Have a great day.
All right, thanks.
Bye for now.
Now, Stephen, I'm not being mean. When my wife and I got together, when we first started dating, and she says to me, "Promise me that you won't die first, because I don't think I can live without you."
This came up at the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah, once we got married. Once we got married, the beginning of our marriage.
Wow.
Yeah,
I just kind of a morbid thought to be carrying with you at this.
Yeah, like you guys are about to go consummate your marriage, and she's like, your eyes are on the way, and she's like, "Hey, by the way, I want to die first."
Right. She says,
"Why are you putting the rubber on?"
Okay, in a way, she said that, but what she said was, "Promise me you won't die first, because I don't think I can live without you." Okay, now that was then. Yeah,
that's kind of touching.
Sweet. Yeah, but if I play out the whole scenario, now she's thinking that she's going to outlive me, and she's looking forward to it, I think.
Well, if you want her to die first, maybe you can take her out to dinner at...
Welcome to Minucci's.
Is that a good place to pick up women, Minucci's?
I have
no idea. Because
not on their mystery bucket Thursdays, that's for sure.
Because your breath would smell like garlic, right?
No idea.
I'm just thinking. oregano and garlic and all that Italian stuff that God, who needs
GD's smells
mannequin
like
pussy.
I don't even know it. It sounds like a Monica Tunky.
I think it sounds like it's saying Vatican pussy, but it's labeled man pussy. So I don't know.
Not a confession.
All this time I thought it was saying mannequin pussy. You know, like
could be saying mannequin. It might be mannequin pussy. That could be what man pussy means.
Manatee pussy.
Manatee pussy.
You know my first ex-wife?
My alternate band, my side band was Matt and the Manatees. I didn't know if you knew about that because
I've seen that porn.
Yeah, I had a thing for manatees at one point in my dopey life.
Ann said, "Take care." Actually, Ann says, "I forgot what she said. I lost it."
Whatever she said, it's not important.
Wishing everyone a good day. See you on the next one.
Bye.
Yeah. Oh, because she's going over to Knock 'em Dead with Tony Walker.
Yes.
Who
yes.
Yesterday was Tony's birthday. He's 55 years old.
Yes.
And his favorite team, the New York Mets, scored 19 runs for him on his birthday. Very good.
Did they really?
I don't think they scored all 19 of them for him. I think there was like 2 or 3 for him.
Doesn't matter. It's the gesture. It's the hiccuping thought that counts.
It just doesn't seem right that you give them credit for things they didn't do.
I didn't give them credit. I didn't give them credit.
Okay.
No credit here. We don't give credit. Cash charge only. But who we got tomorrow? Do you know who we got tomorrow?
Some people.
No, they're not people. Mr. Heath Wombolt. Again, this is make family great again, and I just have, I don't know. I got Crowder vibes. You ever get Crowder vibes? Try to do away with Crowder vibes, and I think he's the only one we have tomorrow, and because I have an evening.
Is he hour 1 or hour 2?
Oh no, we have 2 people on. He's in hour 1, and then Carter Fox. Carter Fox is that rings a bell. So I have no Wednesday night show tomorrow. I'm confused. Don't I have a Wednesday evening show? Come on, guys, help me out.
Are you gonna paint?
Oh, maybe Bramante, Albert Bramante. Oh, today's only Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Yes, today's Tuesday, but I don't know why it looks like I have Albert on the wrong day here. No, Albert is on Thursday, May 1st. I'm all confused. I don't know if I have a show tomorrow night. I thought I did. Oh,
if not, maybe you can paint.
No, I do. Russell No Healthy will be with me. Russell, I had on the evening show.
I thought I was going to have to come on and discuss the book that I haven't finished yet.
You haven't finished that book. Russell, I had on my evening show like 7 years ago. He's a comic book writer, a graphic novel and comic book writer who does Comic Con shows and stuff like that. I don't know why he wants to be back on. Obviously, 7
Maybe
years
he's got
ago
a new comic book out.
Yeah.
I need a comic book. I need an artist because I have comic. It's funny. I have a comic series I was working on, and I was even going to use AI to do the artwork, and they're just too fucking stupid for me. Like, they can't do what I want them to do.
Oh, I don't know. You see Steven's fake girlfriend that AI came up with?
No,
she's real.
She looks almost real. You can tell she's fake because she's smiling next to Steven.
See, there's this one here, this book here, the Necroverse. That's funny. His face is green, so it's disappearing. It's like, see, his face is disappearing.
That's pretty cool.
I don't see it hardly at all.
You can see a hole in your Kenny Bunk point. What does that say, Kenny Bunk? Kennebunk, but
Kennebunk Surf Plaza.
I could have sworn that there was a port on the name of that, right? Kennebunk Port.
No, this is in Maine. This is Maine.
Not Maine.
Oh, why'd you take a picture of this sign?
I will. Okay, let me show you. Where is it? How do I do this? It's under style.
No, you press
Get rid of that, and I will drop. I will drop my mic in my head.
So you say Maryland, but it says right there Maine.
Right, I said it's in Maine.
He said Maine.
I thought he said Maryland.
No, he said Maine, but let's see.
But Kenny,
nope, I still see your
Maine,
ass.
Right?
Drop it low. Drop it low, GD. Oh, okay.
Welcome, GD.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
It actually says that on the sign, or you photoshopped that?
I photoshopped it. That was the first time that was from the first time I was performing in Maine. So I took the picture when I got there. I took the picture and I doctored it in the car, and I said, I just took this picture.
It's pretty convincing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was from the first time I performed at Maine, so I did that there.
What we're talking. Welcome to Too Much Time on Our Hands. I don't know what it's about.
Hey, whatever, John.
What do you say? What is John saying now, Stevens? I can't see. My eyes.
If it was AI, Stevens' head wouldn't be so rotund.
That's not a word I hear very often.
I know. That would hurt because it's unique.
I mean, if you take the T out, it's still round, but just the same.
So it's like a rotunda? Where I don't know.
No,
sorry?
Yeah. See, John is showing his SAT score right there.
I know. No. See, what John's not telling you is on his little nurse's desk right there, right where he keeps his little nurse's skirts. He has a little word of the day calendar, and today happened to be rotund. Yeah. That's what it was.
Did you say nurse's skirts?
Yeah, right next to his nurse's skirts. Where he keeps
at least he was able to use it in the sentence in the right way. That I think is in the right way.
I don't know. I've never used the word.
I'm
not sure if I've ever used the word, but why use
there was a word that I've been using. I can't remember it now, but I use it a lot. And I finally saw it in print for the first time since I was in the first grade, and I actually had to sound it out. I used the word a lot, but it's like I haven't seen it in print since kindergarten or first grade.
Reminds me of when we discovered the word ibid.
There was the other day I was doing something. Oh, actually, a couple weeks ago, it was critical joke theory, and I mispronounced Belarus. I've been saying Belarus all this time, Belarus, and when I actually had to read it out, I said it phonetically like I'd never heard of Belarus before.
Belarus.
Belarus? No, Belarus.
Belarus.
Belarus. Belarus.
Belarus. Retard.
I guess.
I don't want to jump off of the governor's thing when there's still people watching, but I don't have anything. There's nobody in the chat room. They're just watching.
Yeah.
You must be the Monopoly guy.
Frit, aka Tiffany. It's Steve.
Who?
What?
Frit, aka Tiffany. And then the message says, it's Steve.
What the hell?
Somebody knows you. Someone named Frit, aka Tiffany.
Tiffany?
Frit is F-R-I-T, but all caps.
Frit?
Now, I don't know if their name is Frit, aka Tiffany, F-R-I-T, aka Tiffany, but she says it's Steve. That's the best I can do for you.
And what are they saying? Something about he's a worthless human being who deserves to die?
No, it's Steve with 2 exclamation points.
I'll be honest. Hi, Tiffany.
You don't have to be honest. You can lie and say you remember
her.
Tiffany.
I don't know who that is.
You have to be honest. You can lie and say, yeah, Tiffany. Just say that.
Oh, Tiffany. Hey, how are you?
See?
Lady.
Right back at
Tiffany was a bartender at Water Lilies when the band was playing there 20 some odd years ago. I was in my 40s, and
I don't think this is that Tiffany.
20 years ago, I was 14.
She was a freshman at Boston University, and it's like 19 years old, 18, 19 years old or something, and I'm in my 40s.
You dirty dog.
I know.
Oh my God. What kind of person goes after a younger person that young when they're that old? That's gross.
Well, I didn't know. I figured she was at least 21. She was bartending because I thought that was the law.
Yeah, see, I was 40. When I was 40, I was at this place where you had to be 21 to enter. And this woman was hitting on me, and I just assumed she was 21. And in the conversation, she said something about classes. And I'm like, classes? I said, you're in college? You know? She said, yeah, she was like a freshman in college. She was 19.
God, I thought you were about to say high school.
I think right now would be a good time to play Knoxville Courthouse by Hank Williams Jr.
Why fixing for all old guys talking about hitting on young chicks?
Welcome to Boomer Corner, the only corner that you can get stuck in.
You can get
I was 40, but she thought I was 30.
Well, you can get what? What is that? Well, you could get. It sounds
stuck
like
in. It's a stupid thing. He never finished. Yeah, it's stupid. He should not. You know, like I said,
get sucked in or sucked off.
You know, stuck in. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
It is.
I can see that now that he's gone. That's one of the ones I really hate the most. You know, here's a few of those. I'm just like, that's so stupid. Because it ends stupid. And the Boomer Corner thing is great, but the corner you get stuck in is just stupid. But don't tell him I said that. He doesn't have to watch this part, right?
Don't tell who you said that.
Anybody.
Give me your best and hardest. Give me your best and hardest.
So apparently, if something good is going to happen, it's going to wait until after the show is over, which you would probably make sense, right? But my prediction about something good happening today. What is that? Your little lighter?
It's not lighter, but it disappears because it doesn't fully disappear because it's lime green. But it's disappeared there. I can actually look like that doesn't help.
So I'm a little concerned about how quickly. I don't concerned. I'm just I don't know what the right word is, but on Twitter, you know, I live on Twitter. You know, I don't know if you know this about me.
I don't know if you know this about Twitter, but it doesn't exist anymore. It's X.
No, it's always Twitter. Fuck that X nonsense. You can just take your X and go get an O.
I didn't know this about me, but
the trending stuff is changing. Generally, when you see something trending, it lasts for hours, and then they switch. But all the trendings are just flipping through like a light speed today. We're going through trends: Bidenflation, Taco Tuesday.
Bidenflation. Yeah. Okay, stop it. Yeah, don't even have to go. Don't even fucking go there.
I know. I mean, how
bunch
long?
Of fucking cocks.
This needs to be a deadline on how long you can blame the guy before you for whatever the fuck. I mean,
I think the president, the new president, can only blame the old president for 6 months, and then they should have to move on.
I don't even think that. To be honest,
well, we're still within the 6 months on that.
Let's just be honest. There's certain things that presidents really are not responsible for. They don't have the power to affect, and they don't have the power to fix. That's more like a Congress thing or a people thing, the populist thing. And there's some things presidents in general just should not get blamed for.
You know, GD makes a really good 3/5 of a point.
Thank you. The problem is that, like, people. I don't want to mention Trump by name because it sounds petty, but it's true.
Don't mention Trump by name.
Right.
What's his name?
Never mention Trump by name.
Right, but for example, he inherited a great economy from Obama, and he fucked it up. Okay, and the thing is, he didn't even want to acknowledge the fact that he was given such a great economy. Biden left Trump in good shape, and again, doesn't want to acknowledge it. You know, and both times he fucks things up. He's just a fuck up. And I don't know why people think that he's a businessman. He's not a businessman. He's a con man.
He's a businessman.
I know exactly why people think good things about him. You want to know why?
Because they're stupid and uninformed.
Full of lies, where voices have no say. Faces of evil have learned to play the game, delivering the masses a steady dose of pain. Stories driving fear, making us insane. following the leader down the path of hate. Worship the deceiver, the hour's getting late. Fools have traded kindness for the fiction that he sells. Falling into madness, they embrace the sense of hell. Living in the nightmare, praying for the day, trying to shine a light where demons hide and play. It weighs upon my heart, I can find a way. Lost inside the darkness in the end of days. Looking for redemption, replacing doubt with hope. Driving up the tension, trying hard to cope. Listening to liars, dishing out the tropes. Hanging by a thread at the end of my rope. Living in the nightmare, praying for the day, trying to shine a light where demons hide and play. It weighs upon my heart, I can find a way. Lost inside the darkness in the end of days.
This part is so nasty. This makes my hard.
Devil lives inside an old familiar face. Taken for a ride, he brought us to this place. Humanity is broken, this is our final stand. The idol and his tokens, delivering the plan.
Living in the nightmare, praying for the day, trying to shine a light where demons hide and play. It weighs upon my heart, I can find a way. Lost inside the darkness in the end of days. In a world full of lies, where voices have no shame, we've lost our way. Sounds like somebody lost their testicle. Anyway,
I love that song so much.
He dug up Dio to do the vocals. Yeah.
So AI is because I did a couple of songs last night, but I actually wrote the songs. In that one, I wrote all the words. I wrote the melody and actually had to write in the chord structure, some drumming keys and time signatures and all that stuff. I find it. I'm using it to create ideas for myself that I never would come up with on my own. I think there's some positive things that are coming out of this for me in terms of I wrote a song that I've been working on for about 2 years and struggled with exactly where I wanted the melody to go. I knew where the words were going. I knew the chord changes and all that stuff, but AI has helped me kind of get some ideas on different kind of melody stuff. I think it's going to be a useful tool. I think it's evolving, and artists should find out a way to use it without going, completely letting it write the stuff for you. That song was not written for me or done for me. The vocals was something I could never do on my own. I think you could have. I just think you just didn't try. You'd have to cut both my balls off, stick them in Steven's mouth, and then.
I think you need.
God, why does my mouth have to be involved with you to get that high?
I love you.
You need to have a can-do attitude, Matt. You don't have a can-do attitude. Isn't that what he said to you, Steven? He said, but you don't have a can-do attitude.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not. I have a can-do attitude. That voice is not coming out of this mouth. Not even going in this mouth. Not even going in his ears. But bottom line is, I think that there's some definite positive uses for this stuff.
I think you're right though, because here's the thing: when you hear some of the other AI shit that people put out, they don't put the kind of info that you put in there, and you can tell that it's very AI generated.
Here's the thing:
though, you put so much into it from your own self. The AI only had to really do
the vocals and the guitar part, and do something I don't have, which is the 7-string guitars to get that metal sound. I don't know if you know this about guitars, but a 7-string guitar is what you need to get that metal. You can't get that.
I thought you just needed distortion and pedals for that.
Well, no, that's to get the distortion, but the low bottom B note, you're not going to hit. You're not going to hit that bottom B note.
Oh, I'm only used to A minor, so.
I know you are.
Sorry, any chance I get to use that, I'm going to. I don't care who you are.
Listen, whatever. It's an old joke. It's not surprising that you would want to steal an old joke. That's a David Letterman hee. So let's list his impressions now. He's got Tucker Carlson. He's got Alex Jones. He's got Tom Meyer. And he's got David Letterman. All 4 stellar impersonations by the great impressionist Stephen.
I can also do cocaine like Tim Allen. No,
so you're going to work today, and you're going to
don't disparage Tim Allen. He's got it's funny. He has this squeaky clean Disney reputation, but he was the Coke supplier back at the what was it? What's Mitzi's store? Shores
Comedy Store.
Comedy Store. He was a cocaine supplier there.
Who was?
Did you know Tim Allen was? But did you know that Joe Rogan has like a shrine to Mitzi in the Comedy Mothership?
I did not know that, but it wouldn't surprise me because without Mitzi, Joe Rogan would have
I've heard you say that
and then went away.
I've heard you say that. That's why I brought it up. I follow all of that shit on Twitter or whatever and on Instagram, and one of the pictures came through, and the bar in the Comedy Mothership is called Mitzi's Corner, which makes sense because she fucked everybody.
Right.
Not everybody. She
the good ones.
Yeah, the good ones. As a matter of fact, if she didn't do you, chances are. Well, first of all, Paulie was probably good friends with you because he knew if you were a bad comic, Paulie knew you weren't going to get into his mom's pants, so he was probably really good friends with you.
That's why he was friends with Brendan Fraser. He's not a good comedian. So
92nd birthday to Willie Nelson today.
92nd birthday?
Oh, I thought you meant you're celebrating it for 90 seconds.
Oh, because he's not a good comedian. He's a great actor.
I thought you're saying 90 seconds, like a 90-second birthday.
Oh yeah, I thought he was going to play
90
I thought he was going to. Well, I thought he was going to play a 90-second birthday video for him or something.
My wife is texting.
It's a birthday short. 90 seconds.
Sometimes I get stoned in my backyard, lay off in the tall grass.
Now, how did 90 seconds get to be the time limit for a short? I mean, how did they pick that?
It's not because they've expanded it to 3 minutes. You get on YouTube, you get 3 minutes for a short.
Really?
3 minutes.
I'm pretty sure I cut everything down to 90s to 1 minute and 29 seconds.
You got exactly 3 minutes for YouTube. Instagram, I think, is still at 90 seconds.
Oh, TikTok. That's right. TikTok is 90 seconds.
TikTok can go up to 10 minutes.
I'm talking about for shorts.
Well, TikTok kind of mixes all of them together. You can go from anywhere from 30 seconds to... Actually, you can go as little as 2 seconds all the way up to 10 minutes on TikTok.
Somebody tell Steven to shut the fuck up.
All right.
That's rude.
All right.
I haven't heard somebody tell Steven to shut the fuck up.
My buddy did. You just can't hear him because of the background cancellation, but he did.
Your buddy. Now, when you say buddy,
is that
my
your
brother?
I was about to say, is that your brother? Is that the one? See, that's
my brother, another mother.
Stephen, the problem is you're not consistent with when you call him buddy and when you call him brother.
He's my brother.
He's just. No.
It's because Matt keeps giving me shit about it, so I don't know what to say.
Say what you feel. Don't be kowtowing to Matt. Matt is not
my hetero life mate. My hetero life mate, Zach.
There. Matt is not the boss of you. Okay, grow a spine. Stand up.
No, but he's 4 times older than me, and he scares me.
No, we're not doing news again. We're almost done here. We're going to be playing the dopey little radio thing.
What? Don't turn on the radio. That thing.
And you're going to go to diddly kids thing that you do every day.
Nope, Verizon. Close though.
And I'm going to go eat something. I am hungry and I'm sleepy. I got up too early this morning.
What'd you do? Get up at 4:30 instead of like 4:45 like normal?
No. I got up. I don't know what time, but the other day, I was so out of it. I said to my wife, "I already fed the cats. I hadn't even gotten out of bed yet."
Wow. So when you're tired, you immediately become negligent. You're just like, the cats are good.
I said to my wife, I said, I'm sorry I forgot to make your coffee. I fed the cats though, and I went back to bed. It's like I didn't feed the cats. I didn't make her coffee. I didn't get out of bed.
You had a senior moment. It's okay.
And then I woke up and realized I didn't feed the cat, so I went and fed the cat again because I went and fed the cat. And my wife said, "No, you did feed the cat," and I hadn't fed the cat. That was like the cat's food from the night before. Yeah.
Does the name Stephen Mays ring a bell?
Is that Willie Mays' brother, cousin?
No, he's a comedian. I think he's a comedian out of Texas. But
what makes you think I'm a comedian?
Huh?
What makes you think I would know another comedian?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
He barely knows himself.
Why I think you might know is because he's booked for Friday, but I'm not sure. I feel like, and this could just be because I don't remember 3,000 shows or whatever. I think he was booked before and didn't show up. I think I might have had a problem with him. I think he was a no-show but he's booked for Friday. I don't know. Or if he was on the show and I just don't remember him, or he was booked on the show and he didn't show up.
Let's see what happens. It'll be good for ratings because if it's you yelling at him the whole time, that's fine.
Not like you and Dan West, who will
you know what? If Dan would have showed up, I would have tore into him. To be honest with you, yeah, I would have.
You're getting bolder and bolder.
The more he doesn't show up, the
before
less
like,
we see of
I
him.
don't know. I just would have been. I think I would have just sucked him off. Now it's like, fuck him.
He's legitimate. He's legitimately one of the 2 times I was told, nope, sorry, because of the wheelchair, can't perform. Like, go fuck yourself, man.
And that's not why you can't perform. You can't perform because you have erectile dysfunction. It has nothing to do with the wheelchair.
The other time was me saying, fuck you, get up on the stage or don't do anything at all, right? Nobody needs to see you sitting at a table in front of the stage.
Yeah, but you only scare me on here. When we're in person, I'm fine.
All right. So apparently, I guess I can blow my cover on what my prediction was going to be.
Yeah, blow your cover. Blow it all over our faces.
Like you blow me behind.
Whoa, that's excessive.
What? Him blowing me behind the dumpster or the blowing?
No, him saying you blowing all over our faces. Like, what? Our faces?
I would never do that to DD.
I thought we were in this together. I thought we were friends.
No, I'm not in anything.
I would never say that
anybody.
to David Mendelsohn. George David Mendelsohn.
Gerald Davis Fenderson.
Whatever. I'm just I don't know what to say anymore.
What was your good news prediction?
Oh, well, Trump was going to be doing a rally in Michigan, and I just thought it would be a good day for a try again Butler boy thing. Try again Butler boy. I was expecting
those people that tried to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, which should try to kidnap him.
I feel like he's probably the safest in Michigan.
The safest person in Michigan because everybody else is in trouble.
I'm saying because I feel
on the roof, as they say.
Unless he goes to Detroit, I don't think there's going to be many people in Michigan that don't like him.
I don't know. It's Gretchen is blue. Gretchen, she's a blue governor, right?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you having a stroke?
I am.
The problem is,
anytime I think about Gretchen,
he can't say Gretchen without thinking of her dancing. That's it.
You remember when she was dancing and. Wow.
He thinks of her dancing. That's it. And
guys, I have a minute and 15 seconds left.
See, the guys are going to kidnap her just to make a political statement. If I was going to kidnap her,
I'd make her dance.
Make a sexual statement.
Oh my God, Matt, you can't.
I'm not going to kidnap her.
You're such a raper.
I'm not a raper. If I didn't do it, and I'm just fantasizing about it. That's all.
Fantasizing about
like
being
you've never
raper.
had that kind of fantasy. Come on. You dream about GD tying you up and fucking your butthole all day. Now, come on.
So I told you that with confidence.
And there's no way I can do that all day. I can't do anything all day. Okay.
Those days of all day are over.
Well, I figured it would be in short bursts throughout the day based on your age. But...
All right. You want to go? You want to?
Well, my bursts are not short. Okay, let's get this.
Okay, enough of the gay sex. Don't forget to turn on your radio.
Inside me.
I'm coming for you!
Hey, Rocky,
if you can hear me, I just deleted the fuck yes again. 125. We're deleting the news.